Right, I'm here with Mathew Carter. This is the first ever Fitfluencer Series London edition. Brought Mathew downstairs because basically I want to get his insight into the fitness industry, where his journey started, and specifically, Mathew's got diabetes, so I want to talk exactly about how that's affected things with him. So, Matt, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me on. I feel like there's quite a bit of pressure at this point.
It's alright, just go with the flow. Okay, it's going to be fun. So, like, introduce yourself to the camera. I tried, but...
Okay, yeah, so hi guys, my name's Mathew Lewis Carter. I'm 28 years old. I've been in the fitness industry now for 4 years. I've been working in the fitness industry, but I've been, like Dave said, a type 1 diabetic since I was 13 years old. So my brother's also a type 1 diabetic. So for me, when I was diagnosed, I lost a tremendous amount of weight. And this is a few, first of all, key symptoms to look out for if anybody doesn't know anything about diabetes. So a few key things to look out for is I lost a tremendous amount of weight. So I was quite sort of a skinny teenager anyway. So there was nothing on me at all. Kept on going to the toilet, lack of energy. And I went to get my blood glucose levels tested, and any normal person, as far as to test yours now, mate, yours will probably be anywhere between about 4 and 6. Mine was sort of like 25, 26 at the time. So yeah, we lived in Cyprus at the time, sort of flew back from Cyprus, and unfortunately I was diagnosed as type 1. My brother's diabetic as well, so I think I was quite fortunate enough that my mum knew to look out for the symptoms.
Yeah, sure.
So there's about, I think in the UK there's about 3 million people with diabetes, but about 400,000 of those have type 1 diabetes. So type 1 diabetes is sort of, it's something basically your pancreas just stops producing insulin. Insulin is what sort of just regulates your blood glucose levels, so it just maintains it. So for me, it's something I've got to keep on top of. So I've got to be sort of my own nutritionist, my own sort of mathematician. It's something that, and I think it's something that I put out on my social media. That it's something that unless you look after it, there can be quite serious implications. But there's no reason why you can't still be having a normal life.
Yeah, for sure. So I assume you have to carry around your EpiPen all the time.
I do, yeah. So I've got insulin with me most of the time, and it's something I try and sort of, like I said, with my sort of whip it out video. Yeah. It's something, and I kind of like to use social media for this as a platform to say not to be sort of embarrassed if you do have a condition. Like when I was like 13, 14 years old, I remember when I first started training and everything, going to the gym, and like when I'm sort of stepping myself after the gym sessions, people look at me like, that's doing nothing for that skinny jeans.
Yeah, that must be really hard, because obviously like when you're a teenager, like going through all those changes anyway, and if you just started out going to the gym, like that's obviously quite difficult in the first place, and so you used to do that, but whilst having to deal with this whole new situation, it's really difficult, right? It
is really tricky, and again, different types of training affects your glucose levels differently. So if I was to do like steady state cardio, I tend to send my sugar levels down. If I was to do a session just like we did now, my sugar levels go the other way. So what I've really liked about social media I think I've started to use it properly for its main reasons the past few months, and I think it's a great platform to reach out to other diabetics and they get back to you. And I think it's something that we both tried to do with our social media, something we spoke about before, isn't it? Like when you first start, I think with Instagram it's quite, and I don't like to use the word narcissistic, but I think you do kind of...
It kind of is though, like you fall into that trap of like, this is me, look at me, whereas now like we both try and put out a lot more content which people can use, and it's actually like giving them value.
Exactly, man. So I think that's something that's great about both our platforms. But like when you start, you post photos, it's more sort of based on you. But I think there was a turning point for me a few months ago when a couple of diabetics and everything got in touch, and I was like, do you know what? I think social media has its downsides, but it's definitely got its plus sides when you've got thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to be able to try and reach with it.
Yeah, for sure, man. So like when you obviously got that news and you're already going to the gym, so how did you transition from like first starting out, like where your fitness journey began, to now? Like what took you from there to here?
So basically I always wanted to actually be a PT in the Air Force, but when I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, unfortunately if you're diabetic you can't join, which sucks because it's something that I always wanted to do. And then I made the transition. I think I've always had quite a lot of diabetic clients. I think for me that's one of the main reasons I really started in the industry, really. I think just because I've always found like, although training with diabetes, it can be a little bit complicated because your levels kind of go all over the place, but for me I've always found, and I'm sure with a lot of people in the industry, you found this, like to get your clearest head, like I just need to like sweat it out and have a good routine and everything to stick to. And for me, when I'm training well, when I'm eating well, everything else seems to fall into place. Like I always kind of, when we train people here at Unit, like for me, we always get people on the line when we start, and I always say like, the next 50 minutes, doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world, these next 50 minutes are about bettering you as a person. And I always find that with training, I kind of use that mindset. I like to speak to my diabetic clients about that, because I found out it works for me, Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect diabetic. I still, have times where it goes up and down, but
you can't be perfect all the time. Like, that's one thing that in the fitness industry we're always striving to push, and we tell people all the time, like, go, like really give it everything, but you can't be perfect. No one's perfect, and it's like finding that balance is kind of. A lot of people post about balance these days, like you want to be in here working really hard, training really hard, but at the same time not to be overly obsessed with it. And like, just like with your diabetes, you're never going to be 100% on top of it all the time. It's just about trying and
it is, and it is finding that balance. And I think the fitness industry can be quite guilty of that sometimes. Although we preach health and fitness, sometimes we're actually the worst for it. Like I really think we are. Like I've gotten some really I competed things a few years ago. And that on top of my diabetes, I got to a point where I just resented training. Like I hated it. And I came back and rebounded off a show and just ate, and it's just, I think you do fall into a false sense of security in the fitness industry sometimes. Like it's got its great points, but just make sure whatever you're doing in the fitness industry, you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, for sure. It's like having that mentality whereby, you want to give it your all, but at the same time, make sure that it's, you've got other aspects of your life that you want to be working towards as well. Like it's not going to be all mental.
Completely, mate. Because like I said, we were saying before, like when we get to a big session on Saturday, we went out and had some drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's all about.
And like, actually, I just posted this morning about how bringing together loads of people from the fitness industry is fantastic, because it's actually quite it can be a bit of a, not lonely, but individualised industry. A lot of people are freelance, a lot of people work by themselves. So bringing people together as well is fantastic.
Exactly. I think guys can be quite guilty of that sometimes. I think before the Active Band stuff that we do, everybody knows Active Band is kind of a collaboration of guys in the fitness industry, and we come together, we just get a good sweat on. And I think the beauty of the fitness industry, the girls, there's always been like groups for that. And I remember like the first Active Band, then all these guys come in, and we're kind of like sort of matching, and we come in and we just like nobody's really talking. But now it's such a good bunch of guys, and that's the beauty of the fitness industry. And I think in London as well, like I love that with my training now. There's so much out there. Like you can really just mix it up, like the conditioning work, the strength work. I always used to be quite focused on just going into the gym, just doing my own thing. But I think it's the beauty of it. And I think that's one of the biggest tips to people who are, a little bit, they don't know where to start with the fitness industry. Just find something that you enjoy, something that's fun, and give you that accountability. I mean, you'll stick to a training plan if it's fun. If you get up every day and think, oh God, I've got to go on a spin bike, or God, I've got to go train with Dane, like you're not going to you're not going to do it. He's not.
So like, what do you kind of think is, like we touched on a lot of really positive things about the fitness industry. Like, what do you kind of feel is some of the drawbacks with it at the moment? Is there room for improvement in certain areas?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's any line of industry, there's always going to be room for improvement. I personally think training as a personal trainer, I don't think the qualification itself is strong enough. I think 6 weeks you can be a personal trainer. Like I always say it should be a privilege to be able to change somebody's body composition, to change their life. Like I've met some PTs who are, as far as knowledge goes, they have everything, but they're not a good people person. I think you need to find that balance with it. But I really feel like 6 weeks isn't enough. I generally feel like it should be a very thorough qualification that you've got to take. Because when I finished my qualification, I don't remember, but you finish it and you learn so much more on the job, don't you?
100%.
And that's just like
the experience.
Exactly, and you start speaking to your clients, and like you start talking about metabolism and things like that. They're like, what? I don't need to know about this. Like, why do you speak to me like I'm a robot? And you think, oh, okay, I don't need to speak to you like that. I think social media is a bit of a double-edged sword as well. I think some of these people with if you do have a large following, you're in a place of privilege where you should be able to help as many people as you can. And if you don't have the nutrition back in, the PT back in, you get a lot of these Instagrammers who aren't even personal trainers, who aren't even qualified, and then they're selling these sort of 40-day booty plans. It's just like, I think,
kickback.
Yeah, exactly, the kickback, donkey kicks, £50 for a donkey kick. But like I said, if you've done the qualification and everything like that, for me, I'm always like trying to learn. There's so many, I know there's PTs out there who have way more experience and knowledge than I have. But I think, that's the beauty of it, trying to educate yourself a little bit more. But just be wary of people if you do use social media. Like, it is a bit of a double-edged sword. Just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, for sure. Like, definitely the qualification, I would almost say like it is the basic level of knowledge that you need to be able to train someone. But it's almost, when you're taught as a PT, you're taught from taking everybody as the same. Everyone is just a normal person, and it's like trying to teach them to squat. You go, these are the coaching cues for this person.
Yeah.
But me teaching you to squat, me teaching somebody else to squat, you might respond in completely different ways. So you have to have that experience to be able to adjust what you're saying to the individual. And same with like nutritional information. Like, you generally need to have a high protein diet. You generally want to be like careful of the carbs, and obviously don't want to eat too much. But some people respond completely differently. So to have the ability to recognise signs and symptoms of when people are needing to change that is so important as well. So you're not only going to get that through experience and through talking to other PTs.
Completely, man. Listen, you do learn on the job with it. Like it is a learning curve. Like after finishing my qualification, I soon found out, after a few weeks, a few months, that you do start to read people a little bit more. And for me, like I remember when I finished my qualification, I think you come out with this sort of mindset, like, my clients, they need to look like they're on the front cover of Men's Health.
A lot of people don't want that.
Exactly, they don't. And the thing is, like, I train, parents, guys that work in the city, and for one of me, I just remember, like, one of my clients once just said, thanks, I've got more energy to play with my kids now. And for me, that's huge. And a lot of the clients I've worked with, their body composition probably hasn't changed a great deal, like in the last year or so. But I think it's the mental thing, and that's the part of the industry that I love. But I think you do fall into this sort of trap that you come out, and everybody just needs to have apps and things like that. That's what I'd like to change about the fitness industry, about changing your mindset rather than a body transformation.
I think like that mindset change is like it's vital, because you're not going to get the aesthetic change if you don't already have that mindset change.
I completely agree.
The only problem is that a mindset change doesn't look very good on a picture on Instagram.
That's the thing. How do you sell it? Like how do you sell a mindset change when you can sell a photo of abs?
It's not instant gratification.
Completely.
And that is the world we live in. It is changing a lot into that. So almost trying to get people to commit to, this isn't just going to happen. You need to apply yourself and take time with it. It's almost like people see these transformations, which are usually fucking bullshit. And then they're like, oh, well, this guy went from being 10 stone blah 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 to 12 stone in 3 weeks. No, that's not what happens. And like that mindset shift is something which has to happen in order to get it.
And it's huge. We had Hazel Wallace on a podcast recently, and she does a lot of meditation work and things like that as well. And we were kind of talking about, I was just a bit skeptical about stuff like that. You think of meditation, you think you've just sat there and things. But I think you need, exactly. We kind of brought that up in the podcast, but she does it like, I think twice a day for 10 minutes. And she absolutely loves it, just to clear that head. But I think you really do need to find yourself mentally before you will physically. So if it's not there mentally, you're not gonna stick to your goals. You're not gonna train 4 or 5 times a week. You really need to find that clear aspect in your head first.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people, they just don't have the, not that they don't have it, it's just that the changes that, basically the lives that we live, our lifestyle is so different to a lot of people that we initially train. And so to almost expect them to go from where they are to where we are, like that is just completely unrealistic.
Completely.
So like,
and it's true, because we spend so much of our time on our feet and everything as well. Like I think a big thing in the fitness industry is neat. So everything that you do and all the other activity. Like I'm fortunate that I get to hit like 20,000 steps a day. And
which for most people would be really, like
not a chance.
Unrealistic.
Not a chance. Like, a lot of people I work with, if you get to 10,000 steps a day, it's amazing. But again, that's because that is the line of work that we have. So I think it's just keeping it real.
Yeah, definitely. So
keep it real.
Keep it real. That actually brings me. I was going to say, like now, like we'll kind of wrap things up. What would be kind of like your one little piece of advice to people that are watching this that are maybe not that they want to get into the fitness industry as a PT, but maybe they want to start their fitness journey. Like bearing in mind that you've had an up and down industry journey, even obviously with the diabetes. Like, what would you say to someone that maybe was diabetic, they've just found out that news, or maybe they've just gone through a phase of massive weight loss? What would you kind of say to those people?
Do you know what, going back to what we touched on earlier, just find something that you're going to stick to, something that's fun. I think the last 6 months I've had a huge shift in my mindset because I've met guys like you, lads like the other guys I'm doing the podcast with, and it's only happened in 6 months because I've put myself out there and I want to meet other people. Like when you come to places like unit or group training classes as well, that's what I love about the fitness industry, like when you can build a community. And I think we're seeing that shift in at the moment. So just find something that you think, do you know what, might actually be quite good at that and go give that a go. And when you find the fun in it as well, I think CrossFit does that very well. It does, it has its ups and it's the same as any line in the industry. It has its ups and downs, but it focuses on creating a community.
Yeah.
And when you find those other people to train with, to work with, it gives you that level of accountability. So yeah,
for sure.
Find something fun.
Yeah, and even though it can be intimidating to come to somewhere like this or to go to any gym, a lot of people find it super intimidating. So just put yourself out there. Like if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to step forward if you don't have that first step in the right direction.
It's funny you say that, because I know a few people who feel a little bit intimidated coming down here, which we get sort of people who all athletic abilities here. We have people who can absolutely smash it, or people who have just come here for the first time. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. But like you said, you've got to take that first step. There's only so much we can do. That first step has got to be taken by you.
100%. All right, brilliant. Let's wrap it up there.
Cheers, dude. Thank you for that.
Cheers, man.